So this, we are in the T25 AT. It's the Tier 7 American fixed superstructure TD. It's on the line that goes up to the T95 and the E3. Unlike them, this one does not have much armour. I liken this tank very much to an American Jagd Panther, but I find it actually performs significantly better than the Jagd Panther in some ways. Maybe that's just a bit of luck. They're very similar in many ways. Guns very similar. They've got a 105mm gun. Very similar pen on all the shells. I'm struggling here to shoot this guy because he keeps... It's one of the issues with limited traverse. Every time I went to follow him, my gun would bloom out. I'd have to wait for it to aim in again, and by that stage he'd got to some cover. Anyway, let's see if we can get a shot on him. Let's say it's very like a Jagd Panther, but it has more mobility, much better camo, an equivalent gun, and pretty much the same sort of armour, although the armour on this is about the same thickness as the Jagd Panther, but it's probably not angled as well. Anyway, this is a good battle. This is probably one of the, or I think it is probably the best battle I've managed to achieve in this tank. One of the things I have found with it, and the significant difference between this and the Jagd Panther, is this thing is actually quite stealthy. Now I'm going to get spotted here because I didn't pull back far enough not to. But this thing at medium range is very hard to spot. Oh, he's still there. Oh no, it's a KV3. We get hit by artillery though. Pull back again. There is no doubt that where we are, but luckily their artillery doesn't. Here we go again. Artillery gets distracted. I think it starts shooting at someone else, thankfully. It's a bit annoying though. There's 360 damaged, almost half my health lost to bloody artillery. That one we're able to do without being spotted. And let's see if we can get another shot into this KV3. Come on, come around the corner, please. Yeah, so all in all, I've had a lot of success with this tank, and I've double marked it. Some chance if I get some good games over the next week, I might even be able to triple mark it. Getting close to the high 80s and low 90s. So I just need a little bit of luck there, and this, if I get these sorts of games, this might not be very impressive so far. We've only done 1,000 damage, but by the end of the game that will be substantially more. Get a shot into him, we get a little fire, but like most players these days, just about everybody carries a fire extinguisher. Well, I think I got spotted around the corner by the KV. Unfortunately, I don't think the object would have been able to spot me otherwise. Anyway, can't really afford to take too many more hits. Well, the 88's managed to take out the other TD on the other side of the map here. There's the KV again. Let's see if we can get a shot into him. Get out of there as fast as we can. Luckily, as I say, at this point the artillery seems to have decided not to shoot me, which is good. KV is coming around to shoot some of these other tanks that are moved forward. And there he goes. One more into him, but he's still at least one more shot. Although he's got taken out by the Achilles. Now this AT8 knows where I am, and he's sort of heading in this direction. Now he's quite slow, the AT8, very good frontal armour, so I don't really want to tackle him head on, particularly now that I've only got less than half my health. So I'm just going to pull back and try and get somewhere that he might not quite expect me to be. This isn't a very elaborate trap. In fact, it's quite a very simple trap, but I'm sort of counting on him pushing round this hill, or where I was, that hill I was on, to my right here, and perhaps coming back up to try and shoot where he thinks I am on top of that hill. Now, if he was clever, he probably would realise that if he went along the space of that hill on the other side, here he is, that he would have proxy spotted me, but I don't think he's overly clever, this guy. So I just pull him back, so he's up here. Now pull back a little bit to go so he can't see me through the trees. Track him. Keeps on going. Let's track him again. And let's finish him off. And that's a good way to dispose of him. He really did fall into that trap fairly easily. Perhaps not a very experienced player. But it's nice when you do something like that tactically and it actually works. Now at this stage, start to size up how our team's doing it. I realise that we've got a full health T25 on the other side of the map. Now, I think this was a very inexperienced player driving the T25, because he really doesn't seem to have much idea about what he's doing, although he does chip in towards the end. So I come over here thinking, well, I might be able to support him, but he really doesn't have much intention of pushing forward. He's a very, very wary and very timid player. When you're driving arguably the best tier 7 heavy in the game and you won't push forward to tackle, try and take the enemy, the last stragglers out, it's a little bit disappointing. Anyway, I decided at this point that it's probably better to go actually back over the other side of the map. So I'm going to cut through. I'm going to take a bit of a risk and cut through in the middle here. I can see that the Achilles is pushed forward, so there shouldn't be anybody on top of that, the little hill part where the enemy can get over here, just on the left. But there's a bit of a risk that this T25-2 might be there somewhere. And there he is. Luckily he wasn't looking in our direction. Luckily no one was really looking in our direction after we got spotted there. Turned round to try and get a shot back at him, but there's too many rocks and things in the way there. Oh, that's good. Our light tank just drove off the little mound there and killed himself. I'm sure he didn't intend to do that, but that's part of the problem playing on the servers these days. There's a lot of inexperienced players in some of these games, and they aren't all that good at keeping themselves alive. Mind you, I think we've all done that at one stage or other, driven accidentally off the side of a hill thinking we can get down safely, and you can't, and your tank smashes on the ground and blows up. Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. There we go. One into him. They probably will have spotted us. Yes, he did, but he drove past us. So a couple of seconds, we go black again. Now, let's have a look. All of the buildings up here are destructible, so I'm just firing AP through there to try and get a shot on the Tiger P, and now I have. Thought he'd realised that I did, but maybe not. And now I get one shot into the side of him. I don't really have enough shells to shoot down the whole village, but I'll take a few pot shots just on the off chance that I might get a shot on him. Oh, now he may have a shot on the T25 too. This is like the turreted equivalent of Tier 7. It's on a different chassis. I don't find it's a very effective tank. It only has a 90mm gun, whereas this has a 105mm gun, which makes a bit of difference. Like the extra alpha you get with this, 320 compared to about 260 with the 90mm, something like that. Might only be 240 even. So the bigger gun certainly hits harder. The 90mm is probably more accurate. There's that Tiger P again. Oh, got a shot. Another one into him. Might try one more, but still can't see him. But he does get taken out. So it's really going down to the wire this game, but so we've still got a T29 with quite a bit of health. Trying to encourage him to help out. But this has been a pretty monster game for this tank. 4,884 damage so far. And there's still a bit more to go. Poor Achilles is struggling a bit. Well, he's struggling quite a bit. He's dead. Now I was a bit worried he just come straight round at me. I think he's got an 88 on that tank, which means he could potentially kill me with one shot. Oh, no, actually no he can't. Sorry, an 88 would do about probably 220. I was thinking 105 territory. He spotted me there. He's there somewhere. Must be to my right there somewhere. And there he is. He fires and he misses, and I'm very lucky I hit him back. I know I can take one. And we take him out. And there we go. So 5,386 damage and 4 kills. That was an ace in this tank, and that's probably the best game I've had in it so far.